Okay, good evening. I'd like to call to order the June 25th, 2026 Planning Board meeting. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge that the land upon which we gather is unceded Mi'kmaq territory. Epequit, Prince Edward Island, Mi'kmaqi, is covered by the historic treaties of peace and friendship. We pay our respects to the Indigenous Mi'kmaq people who have occupied this island for over 12,000 years, past, present, and future. Okay, you have your agenda in front of you. I'd like to call for a motion to approve the agenda. Yvette, and a second. Louis? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, motion carried. Disclosure of conflict of interest. Does anybody have any conflict with what we're discussing tonight? Okay, we'll move ahead. You have a copy of the May 28th board minutes. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes, please?
So moved.
Moved by Cody, second. Second by Yvette. Any errors, omissions? Okay, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's passed. Business arising from the minutes. So, planning board made some recommendations to council, and they all went ahead except the proposal for the units on Gall Street. Council turned that down, and so everything else was moved ahead. Anybody else have anything from business arising from the minutes?
Madam Chair, just wondering how are we going to proceed going forward now with the issues that council had with green space and trees and everything? If we approve a project and we feel that it's met all the requirements of our official plan and our bylaws, there's not much sense us pushing a project through if council are going to have issues at the end of the day about green space and whatever. So where do we stand on that, or what? I wonder, Lee, can you give us any
So I think
direction?
I think planning board made our decision based on the bylaws and what was in front of us, but council always has the right to not agree with us and to make their own decision.
That, yeah.
And you're right, it does feel a little awkward, but that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really have an answer for you.
No. So, I mean, we don't have any really guidelines on green space and preservation of trees or whatever.
No, we don't. No. I would
At
like.
this point.
Yeah, I would like to see something about, preservation of trees, but that's not, at this point, that's not part of our regulations, and so, yeah.
Okay.
Cody?
I guess part of what would have satisfied council on the green space and stuff is if we would have had our new bylaws signed, because they could have went with less parking. And I know that was a sticking point for at least one councillor.
Yes.
But I mean, we don't know when these are going to be signed, so you're absolutely correct in assuming that council could continue to vote against our recommendations on larger projects like that consume the whole piece of land with concrete and the building, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if we can, where we are, I don't know if, I know that John and Danielle met recently with Darlene, but I mean, they're not signed, so. I hope it happens before I'm done at council, but I'm not holding my breath on it.
No. Anyway, it
But
kind
it
of
leaves
makes,
us in a bad spot.
yeah, it makes it awkward for,
You know, we're doing what we can with, our recommendations from our staff and following the bylaws, and then
yeah.
we get to council a month later and it gets turned down, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So we're stuck. I don't have an answer for you,
No,
but
I
I
understand
understand the concern.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, we have, anybody else have anything from business from minutes? Okay. We have no one to present to us this evening, so I'll move on to the requests. And we have. Oh. All right, the first one is, yeah, this is an interesting one, a cemetery expansion. So this application concerns the expansion of the Brooklyn Community Cemetery. This is a small-scale institutional use which is permitted within the agricultural zone. The development bylaw confirms that proposals for institutional uses are matters for planning board and council. The key planning issues associated with this proposal are considered to be the development of the additional burial ground, the development and agriculture land. The proposal seeks for an extension to the existing cemetery through the addition of a small parcel of adjacent agricultural land located immediately east of the current cemetery boundary. The extension, which is approximately 5,400 square feet, is intended to address future burial land requirements. While the land proposed for exclusion has historically been used for agricultural purposes, it represents a very small portion of the town's overall agricultural land inventory. The official plan recognizes both the importance of protecting agricultural resources and the need to accommodate community service and thus future burial needs. The proposed cemetery expansion maintains the existing institutional land use, does not involve the construction of any buildings, and is a use permitted within the agricultural zone. Subject to further subdivision and consolidation of the affected land, staff have identified no planning concerns that would impede approval of this proposal. The proposal is recommended for approval subject to permit conditions which include the approved plans and subdivision and consolidation. And so, the Planning and Development Officer therefore recommends that Planning Board recommend to Mayor and Council to approve the extension of the Brudenell Community Cemetery 40 feet eastward on Brooklyn Road, PIDs 243808 and 883330, subject to the following conditions. 1, prior to using any of the land hereby permitted for burials, the applicant is required to complete and be issued final approval for a subdivision of land at PID 883330, and that the land shall be consolidated to PID 243808 as per the site plan details submitted on April 28, 2026. And the second condition, the application form with the site plan dated April 28th, 2026. Could I have a mover and a seconder? Sorry.
The Brooklyn Community Cemetery, I think you might have said Brudenell.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I think so.
My apologies. Thank you. Okay, so we'll rephrase that. Do I have to read the whole thing again?
No, that's not.
Okay, just a correction that it's the Brooklyn Community Cemetery on Brooklyn Road. Okay, motion to put this on the floor? Cody, thank you. Second, Louis? Okay, discussion.
I'm fine with it how it is, with no concerns or questions.
Okay, no concerns? Okay, so all in favor of moving it ahead to council? Okay, cool. All right, so our second item to look at tonight is the application concerns the creation of lot 26-1 and the associated right-of-way at the future site of the Kings County Memorial Hospital and Community Health Campus. The key planning issues associated with this proposal are considered to be access and transportation impacts, site suitability, and servicing. This application seeks approval for a subdivision associated with the future development of a new community health campus and replacement hospital facility. The proposal represents an initial site preparation phase involving the creation of development parcels, installation of municipal services and construction of primary access road. The application has been reviewed against the subdivision policies of the Town of Three Rivers official plan and the requirements of the development bylaw, with staff finding that the proposal is generally consistent with the town's planning framework and suitable for the intended institutional use. The proposal is recommended for approval subject to permit conditions, which include 5 times the final plan copy, final plan approval, TIE memo compliance, and the approval of the preliminary plans and forms. And so, the Planning and Development Officer therefore the Planning Board recommend to Mayor and Council to approve the creation of Lot 26.1 and associated right-of-way for the future site of the Kings County Memorial Hospital and Community Health Campus, AA McDonald Highway, Route 4, PIDs 11-86501 and 165605, subject to the following conditions. Condition 1, final subdivision approval shall be granted by the development officer only where the developer has complied with all applicable requirements of this bylaw and has submitted 5 copies of the final subdivision plan showing all lots pinned and certified by a surveyor registered to practice in Prince Edward Island. 2, the development officer shall give notice of the final approval of a subdivision in writing and shall place the town's seal on the 5 copies of the subdivision plan and shall return 1 copy to the applicant. 3, the applicant shall follow the mitigative measures and work program outlined in the Department of Transportation, Infrastructure and Energy memo dated June 2nd, 2026. 4, the following constitutes the approved plans. The development permit application received March 23rd, 2026, and the preliminary drawing plan dated March 17th, 2026. A motion to put it on the floor, please. Yvette and Louis. Discussion.
I think our biggest concern will be traffic, which they've seemed to at least attempted to address. I don't know how we feel about it. They're gonna remove the access from Route 4 for the duration of the construction, which I think is a good idea. I guess the only other thing would be, and like they said, they're not going to do it during high traffic areas, but still trucks pulling out from Route Nut Point onto Route 4 at that hill and stuff could be an issue. I don't know if we wanna see if we could get them to slow the speed down for that whole area, or what to do, or it's gonna be what it's gonna be, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
what traffic will be an issue?
Well, we'll take heat for it no matter what as council, but I mean, the work has to be done. And I mean, it's not gonna be like the last couple of years. They're gonna, hopefully they come in off this road and they tie in from there and block it off, and it's very minimal. They have the laydown yard, so maybe there won't be too much trucking in and out, but if there's any, well, we're gonna hear about it, but I mean, it's for a hospital, so what do you want us to do?
Yep.
I don't know, so.
Louis?
Wouldn't that be a problem for the province and more so than council?
Sorry,
Wouldn't the traffic issue be a problem more so for the province?
It is, but we'll take the heat.
Yeah.
I think after the last couple of years, there's, council is concerned about, blocking businesses, and I think we'll kind of look a little carefully at what the plan is. So, doing it in off-peak times and, blocking that road to, Route 4 when it's finished would help with that, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a provincial responsibility, but it also reflects on us. So we're trying to be
On
careful.
the municipality, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Anything from you, Yvette?
The only thing, as you said, was traffic. So if they do it in less peak times, it might assist with that. But I mean, as you said, it's a hospital, so yes, it has to be done.
Yeah, we really don't want to hold up the having a health campus. Okay, so are we ready to move this forward to council as is? Okay, all in favor? Okay. So that brings us to the end of our, what we have on our agenda tonight, so I'd like a motion for adjournment, please. Okay, second. Great. Let's go home.